First off, rest in peace, neighborhood Nip. I ain't crip, but I'm on that neighborhood shoot. Building business, it's that black owned. If you hustle, better hustle till your pack gone. If you work, better work till your back hurt. And if you rap, make it better than your last verse. Yeah, more lyrics. Stick and move, Javante.
AJ, El Presidente, Eddie Kane University. Hill gon' heal, regardless. You, Buchanan, Bethel High School, by way of 3-Man Weave, LLC.
Michelle, producer, Faith Overseas.
You can catch this wave from the Marlins to the Mariners. Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man Weave.
What up, good people? We back. Your favorite three guys, your favorite pod's favorite pod. As always, you know who it is. You got your boy B Cannon. I got my two bros with me, and we got a special episode for y'all. Episode 138, Super Wild Edition. So, who I got with me, fellas?
This ain't the wild card. It's divisional round, brother.
I know, but I'm just saying this our post. Come on, man. It just happened.
Oh, all right. We got it. Well, you already know who it is, Hill.
You see how they do, AJ?
Yeah, you got to come back. You got to come back firing. You got to come back firing. It's your boy Hill. You know Hill gonna Hill regardless, baby. Let's get it. Got to show the shirt. I gotta go. I gotta show the shirt. I gotta show the shirt.
Damn show still run these.
You know what I'm saying? Like they must have forgot. Like that's like we're gonna diminish. We're gonna diminish that because we lost a playoff game. But we can get into it. Go ahead, AJ.
I'm
you already know who it is. It's your boy AJ. You know, playoff win extraordinaire. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, it feel good, baby. It feel good. You know, somebody told me act like you been there before. Motherfucker, I ain't been here before. Everybody hit me up. Y'all act like you just won the Super Bowl. No, I act like we just won a playoff game in 31 years.
That's the bro. A lot of people have been showing their true colors, man. We'll get into it, but I'm not understanding why you can't be excited over your win, bro. Like, God damn, bro. Like,
our first playoff win in 31 years. I'm 33 years old, right?
Like, yeah, like, come on, bro. Like, y'all supposed to have a parade. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
you real for even being a fan.
You like, come on, bro. Like, but you act like you been there. Or y'all talking too much, and y'all act like it's super. Shut up. Y'all can catch it on all major podcast platforms. 3-Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3-Man Weave _. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. We also on TikTok and Twitch at 3-Man Weave _. You can see what type of energy I'm bringing. I'm telling you, y'all know I'm sick of everybody. So, you know what I'm saying.
It's gonna be an interesting one because I don't have not a red cup in sight. So we're gonna see.
Oh, but before, I get Arizona, AJ. Everybody throw your fours up. You know what I'm saying? Throw your fours up. So we can get right into it. Let's go ahead and recap this Super Wildcard Weekend.
First off, let me say, I don't know why they throw the Super Wildcard. Where that come from?
I could have an extra game. They you add some sauce to it. That's all.
Yeah, and
I don't like it. Save the Super for the bowl. First off, one, there were a lot of blowouts on this weekend. So
yeah, I'm about to say this shit was super lopsided. If anything,
so there were really two really wild card games. Other than that, the rest of them were blowouts. So if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, let's get into it.
But the 7th seed are 0-4 since it's been implemented into this process. I mean, how we feeling about this? Like, I mean it's not going to change.
Of course, it's not going to change. They might add another one in soon.
Yeah, so we might well get.
I still like them. I still like the amount of teams that get in. Just call it wild card weekend, like.
You ain't got to go extra. I feel you. If it's that simple for you or not, when I understand. Start off. We can ride. We can go. Y'all was the first game, AJ. Y'all set the tone for the weekend. It was a good one.
That was a good game. Man, Hill was watching that one at the same time, texting back and forth. That was a good game, man. I want to talk about the refs on that game though, man, because to me, that was a good referee football game, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see what the fuss is about, honestly.
To me, it was only two. It was only two egregious calls.
Mm-hmm.
One was that roughing the passer on Derek Carr. That was a terrible call. And yeah, the inadvertent whistle was a blunder, but like I'm like, and they actually got the call wrong. But as big as everyone's making it, like, oh, everybody just stopped, and it left him, bro. The ball was literally like like maybe a yard in front of Tyler Boyd's hands, and when they were in the scramble drill, he basically lost the corner, and that's why it looks like the corner gave up because he cut his route short and basically left him in the dust. So when he looked up, he saw the ball was already there. He's like, "Damn, I ain't gonna get it anyway. I can't make a play on the ball." Like, I like no whistle, whatever. Like the play went on that's called. So, I mean, technically by rule they got it wrong, but I mean, I don't even know if to say we wouldn't have scored again anyway because it changes the game.
Any game, though, if you look at any game, how many times do they get it wrong? And just to come out and say that they won't get another playoff game, I just felt like that was kind of harsh, especially for that crew. That crew is one of my favorite crews. If you look at who the head referee was for that one,
Jerome Boger.
Yeah, so I just felt like the penalty was egregious. All this other stuff going on that y'all don't want to address, and then you come out and, to me, that's a normal thing that can happen. There is human error when you have referees. They're not perfect. So it's like they're not going to get every call, but they try their best to get the call. I don't think they blatantly messed the game up, or I don't think they changed the course of the game. So
you said one thing, AJ, that I definitely not say I definitely, that was too strong, but I don't agree with that. Who's to say that y'all wouldn't just score? Because but prior to that, y'all were leaving points on the board.
100%.
Y'all were settling for field goals. So let's say if they replay the down like the rule says, it's no guarantee that y'all would have scored. Once again, that was not the design play. That was a scramble drill. And
what I'm saying is that was at the end of the first half. I'm not saying on that play.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this play determined the game, and Raiders fans should petition and protest. And
that's my point. And that's
because I think on that, the way you're going to view that play, once I'm gonna say it like this: rules are rules. I understand rules are rules, and go by the rules. I'm not trying to supersede that. But how you're looking at the game is the only reason the way you're looking how this rule was interpreted. Because if you were going for the Raiders, of course you're mad. You wanted to replay the down, run the rule. If you were hating on the Bengals, AFC North fan, you want to see them lose, and you like, okay, yeah, they done the Raiders bad. But if you look the play, that whistle had absolutely nothing to do with the outcome of the play. And on top of that, let's say for a hypothetical reason, they replay it down, y'all fumble, they take it to the crib or pick six or something like that. Now all of a sudden that's right when the whistle was inadvertently blown and that was wrong. Like, are y'all gonna have that same energy if that was happening? That's the problem I have with the backlash of the play.
And like you said, Hill, the most major point I think made here for this topic is that that call was early enough to where it did not affect the outcome of the game. So, Las Vegas had plenty of time to recover, or like you said, in hindsight, Hill, if it would have went the other way and hypothetically they would have fumbled, scored a touchdown, the Bengals would have had time to recover. So I feel like, it's a football game. You're not going to get all the calls your way. How do you respond ultimately, especially in the playoffs, is what's going to matter most. So, I just felt like that was a big overreaction, but we can go ahead and get to y'all takes on.
And before we move on, they had a chance to win the game or tie the game up at least at the end of the game.
And what your boy do here?
Come on now, I'm not gonna do that. I mean, he threw a pick at the end of the game. He threw a pick at the end of the game.
Because what you say about Rodgers, man, nobody is exempt
from criticism.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he threw a pick at the end of the game. You know, desperation calls. That's that happens sometimes for when you
they
just
were
you know what I'm
there. I
saying?
don't even think that's desperation. I think that's just bad play, man.
I think it was. I mean, the time was winding out, bro. Like it was it. Like
It was. But I feel like they was in shot range. You feel me?
it was a bad throw. I'm not about to vouch for him, like and defend him and say something crazy. Like I said, I'm not about to vilify him like you want me to do. You know what I'm saying?
I
I'm
don't
not
want
gonna
you
do
to
that.
do
I'm not gonna do that either. Like I said, he's not exempt. He had plenty of opportunities the score to get this game in the ring. But what you asked for, my whole point was you asked for to have the ball in your hands at the last time. You asked for a chance. They gave you a chance. You failed. Shouts out to the Bengals. It's been 31 years. You got your first win.
Yeah.
Shouts out to the Bengals. That's really what should be the main story, which not getting any notoriety by any of the media outlets at all. They talk about everything else other than the Bengals getting their first win.
No, man, because Zach had them young boys looking like they've been there before, man.
And that's a whole fact.
That's my thing. And that's my thing. Had we lost, and had it been like had we just lost, or even had it been just in some dramatic fashion, then we'd have got a whole bunch of airplay talking about, see, look at them. Are they gonna ruin Joe Burrow? Is Joe Burrow ever gonna be able to win in Cincinnati? He actually comes out, he wins the game, and he treats it as business as usual. Nope, like, hey, oh, we got a highlight. It's a controversial whistle. The Bengals won. Moving on. So the Cowboys, so the Packers, so can the Bucks do this, bro? Like we about to play the number 1 seed, and we still not getting no previews of the game and stuff. I'm like, God damn, like. Can we at least get some, props? And I think that's a failure on the NFL because they prop up any and every other, young quarterback. But now you got, one of the, the top young quarterbacks in the game, and you're not giving them no coverage. That's not how you build, more intrigue and they complain about small markets, but that's not how you drum up interest in small markets. They do it with the other small market quarterback who does pretty good, bro. The Browns have been historically ass forever.
They want them,
bro. They haven't won the AFC North, like they haven't won this division since 1989,
and they constantly push.
They get Baker. Baker's the number 1 overall pick, and all of a sudden they start getting all types of segments on all of these mainstream media shows. They get all this coverage. Oh, they a Super Bowl pick. We actually start winning. We don't get talked about at all. After a playoff win, they still talk about Baker's playoff win last year. So I'm like, God damn. Like I when I was in the group prior to the season when they drafted Jamar Chase, and rumors was coming out of camp that Jamar Chase, he's not catching. Jamar Chase isn't separating. Joe Burrow's looking rusty. But all of the days where Joe Burrow was going, perfect in camp, the ball never hit the turf. Jamar Chase was burning some of our DBs. None of that ever got coverage on those days that we got back.
Of course not.
And so I always say, like, you
what they say about bad news, man.
Oh, you won't get no good news out of Cincinnati.
But one thing that I will say about y'all, man, the eye test for me, y'all look pretty damn good, man. I'm gonna just say that, man. To the point where if you're in the AFC, you're not excited if you got to play the Bengals. I'm not saying that that's going to guarantee y'all a victory or anything, but I'm saying Tennessee and whoever after, if y'all go for it, they're like, damn, like that offense is starting to be a problem. And then this is just to nitpick with you, AJ, how you didn't like how Zach was scheming up the tight ends earlier in the year, but man, I think he's doing it. And it's probably not him. It's probably your OC, but I feel like y'all doing.
Zach calls the plays. Zach does the designs. But so what I will say is, as you see it, really was like as the season went on, they start taking the training wheels off of Joe. Joe's moving around more in the pocket. Joe's, he's doing a lot more. And like I've said it on the previous episode, the biggest thing that I didn't like about our offense is we weren't utilizing Jamar Chase for what we really should have drafted him for. We were going, a bunch of, just 9 routes or slants. We weren't really using him in other intermediate aspects of the offense. And then he was the only person that was going deep. Then once they started sending T. Higgins deep, oh man, the offense looks completely different. Then it opens the run game up next, and then so you still got Joe Mixon, and then you still got Tyler Boyd working over the middle, and CJ he's the heartbeat of the team, so he's starting to really step up too. And he's having a really, solid season, compared to what the numbers he's normally put up. And so it's been really good. And so like you're starting to see why, and you're starting like now that they've opened up the playbook, and you're starting to see what Joe Burrow really is, and the reason why we drafted him, and he's looking like it. Early on in the season, those bad interceptions and stuff, it's like, okay, he's got to get it together. Maybe it's the time he has behind the offensive line and stuff like that. But to have someone be the most sacked quarterback in the league, but also lead the league in completion percentage, that shows you how dangerous this motherfucker is. And so if they give him, any semblance of a right side of an offensive line, because I will say our left side, I'm not worried about them holding up. It's that right side. We need, right guard. And, with Riley Reef on injured reserve done for the season, we need, some people to step up at right tackle. But man, the sky's the limit for this dude, yo. Like that pass over the middle of the CJ over Devon Diablo's head.
Yeah.
That's some shit you can't, like, you use that to teach.
Yeah.
No, man. I just watched them like, man. They look real comfortable. Not just him, the whole team, man. And the defense looks good. The D line really, I've been high on your D line, but just I felt like they really did their thing, And I'm not even necessarily always getting the sack. It's sometimes not always about the sack. Sometimes about containing the line or forcing it till you can get reinforcement. So it's like I feel like y'all really played team ball, So. We'll see, man.
Like you said, kudos to the Bengals, man. Like you said, all praise to the Bengals winning your first playoff game in 31 years. Like I said, it's not talked about enough. So it's like, go ahead, you got something?
What I was just gonna say is, all season, it's been, can they protect Joe Burrow? Can they protect Joe Burrow? But nobody ever said, oh, can the Raiders protect Derek Carr? They offensive line ain't good either. And so I think that's always just been, like I said, it's these narratives, man. And guess what? When we break down this divisional game, I got some stuff to say about that game too.
Okay.
About narratives.
All right. So okay. we might go a little bit over time. All right. So the next game was the Patriots and the Bills.
The what?
Yeah. I mean, shouts out to the Patriots, yo. So unfortunately, like I said, their history tells you that they win a lot of rings. Like they got 6, 5, 6. What?
I think 6.
Okay, they got they got 6. They're going out there. We always consistently seeing them in the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl. I know we got Patriot fatigue. You know what I'm saying? But on this team, like I said, they have a rookie-led quarterback.
Oh, absolutely.
Team is back on the up and up after a down after a down year, and they just got knocked out. I mean, sometimes you run out of energy and you just get knocked out. And the Bills was always considered a contender, Super Bowl contender all year. They had some highs, they had some lows throughout the season, but they was always considered a contender, and they showed that. It's no need to hang your hat on them. No need to bash them. I mean, I know we hate, like I said, I know we hate the Patriots and all that, but just be honest, like the Bills is clicking right now.
And for me, man, I know it's been talk like is the Patriots reign over and stuff like that. Is Bill Belichick, is his time done, man? Y'all better be careful, because what Bill Belichick was able to do with a quarterback, and it's not like a whole bunch of people are sold on Mac Jones. Right. But to still get there, and then at one point in time, Mac Jones was on the heater. So if Mac Jones can find some consistency, because with that Patriots team, they don't necessarily need you to put up all these great stats. They need you to to manage the game, not turn the ball over, and just make a pivotal play here, which is basically convert some third downs. We need you to convert some third downs and get us on the board. And so if Matt can really get comfortable in there and find some consistency, man, they might be trouble, here on down the line. So, and speaking of finding consistency, that was peak Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen.
But you know why?
Josh Allen is a roller coaster, bro. So it ain't like he about to be on top forever.
You know why? I think if they let him play like that, we'll get that Josh Allen, man. And that's the thing. All that talk about Lamar, they try to make Josh Allen into a pocket passer too, and he's really a dual threat quarterback, man. So it's like when his legs can be a weapon and then the game can flow to him, things open up for the Bills, as you can see, and it opened up for their run. They got a gashing big run touchdowns, which we haven't seen. Come on now. So
linebackers got to start getting out of their fits.
And so you just got to let Josh Allen be Josh Allen. I think what we saw was a coach finally getting out of the way. I think their head coach may have been in their way all season. So it's like, and not to say that he was really in their way, because of course they still, made the playoffs. They're still doing their thing. But I just say take the reins off of them, because like you said, Hill, they have been a contender all year. They were speculated to be here. I feel like they showed up, did what they were supposed to do. We'll see if they can keep it going. But I do like the Buffalo Bills. I don't know who's coming out of the AFC. I honestly don't, man.
Because it's tough. Like the AFC is just kind of, it's been one of those back and forths, because I mean, even with the number one seed, we don't really know what we're gonna get from the number one seed, because the way that they've been injured and stuff like that, and we haven't really seen it. I know I ain't going that far yet, but so with the Bills,
behind the rain, y'all in, man.
the Bills, they look good, and they dominated the Patriots, and so that's a really good win. But it's also a division matchup, so your opponent very, very well.
Yeah,
and it's the third time you've played them, so sometimes that that can play to your advantage. Sometimes it can hurt you. So we just there, and so we'll go on to. You want to go on to the next game?
Yeah, we ain't gonna be here long on that one. The Eagles and the Bucks.
Yeah, man.
Pretty much what was predicted by most. Was a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
The imperfections of Jalen Hurts and that offense was highlighted in this playoff game. And that's pretty much it I got for that. Other than that, it's
but they could have gave up, bro. And I felt like they didn't, which is why
they never gave up.
And I still feel like they have something there. So it's like they have building blocks. But like we said, I don't know if it was the prior episode, because I went on this one, the last one, but we said he don't have nothing anyway. So it's like what I'm supposed to do is like I can't just put it all on my back. So it's like they really this offseason they gotta focus on getting him weapons. And I think the future is bright for them, because they overachieved. You feel me?
Yeah,
so it's like
that's a fact.
If you could stay, keep your ground level and improve from there, I feel like you should only be better.
And here's my thing. Remember the leap that we saw Josh Allen take? Because remember, Josh Allen, we were looking at Josh Allen like, bro, you can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got him Stephon Diggs, an elite number one. They open that offense up a little bit more, and you start to see like, okay, this is why he got drafted so high, because he has the talent. He showed flashes, but you have to put the pieces around him to make it look different. Yeah. They fixed that like in Buffalo. They picked every single offensive lineman that they could find from wherever, mixed and matched pieces until they found out, okay, this is the one that works. And when they found the one that worked, and they had the weapons, it all just started to look different. It looked like he took the step. And that's why you see those peaks and valleys with Josh Allen, because the other Josh Allen is still in there.
Mm-hmm.
But his talent shows, and you put a system in place for him that allows him to really utilize his strengths also. Now you see it. And they got to do that with Jalen Hurts. They got to put him in advantageous positions that allow him to succeed. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
That's facts.
Next game, was
one more before we go on.
All right.
Hey, AB, they need you, man. Like you could be helping out, bro. Like cap your shoulder pads on. Talk to you, let your agent or your management handle it, bro. You will be in the playoffs right now, getting a check. You at least be getting an extra game check if you didn't make your incentive. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like
instead of going on an apology tour, recanting everything that you said on that podcast, but
because Godwin going down, they need you more than that. Because it's even though Mike Evans did step up, he was Mike Evans like Mike Evans was supposed to be, but dang. And that's all I'm saying about that.
Quiet as just kept. Had he not did that little show, and he just took his helmet off, carried it, and kept his shoulder pads on, and just jogged to the locker room, I think they might have maybe fined him. They might have maybe suspended him one game, but he'd still be on this team.
Yeah.
You had to show your ass, and
But that was our whole stance. That was our entire stance. You didn't have to do what you did. You could have walked away calmly. Everything you could have did everything other than what you did. That's it. Well, we gonna stay on AB long. Cowboys and 49ers game was the next game after that.
That was a classic, man. I know you're not happy with the results here, but I was excited for this game because this playoff game was remind me of my childhood, man, because 49ers and the Cowboys often played 3 times a year during the 90s. I'm dating myself, but that's what I grew up on. And it was always, you never knew who was going because those teams were stacked back then. I'm talking Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Steve Young, Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders swapping teams, Charles Haley swapping. So it's like, just
Ken Norton.
Yeah, Morton Hanks, a lot of people Brent Jones, Jay Novacek, people that people won't even remember, but and this lived up to that. I said prior to y'all that this had that feeling, and for it to come down to the very last play, regardless of I know it not being the outcome that you wanted here, we can't ask for a better. That was wild card football right there. You feel me?
Definitely.
So it's like that's what I wanted to see from all. I felt like the Bengals game gave us that. I feel like the Raiders, they still had a chance all the way to the end of the game. Those 2 games really got me excited for the rest of the playoffs. I feel like we got the teams who really weren't supposed to be there up out of there. There was some questionable calls in this Cowboy games for both teams. I felt like, Dallas got to make, and it's been a problem before Kellen Moore, man. For some reason, and this goes back, this might go back to 2012 with us, Hill. They came out with a stat that said if y'all run the ball 25 times,
go ahead, man. It's
the oldest stats, man. Y'all win, and I don't know how many times y'all ran it this game, but
it won't 25.
25.
It definitely didn't feel like 25 is what I was going to say. So it's just like that. It's just too much passing, man. And passing leads to stopping the clock. When you don't convert third downs, that leads to short time of possession, man. You give the ball to the other person and you let them milk the clock. You let them get in the rhythm. And the 49ers almost did everything to trick this dang on game up, man. That's the one thing. And that's also the one thing that I hate about watching Dallas in the playoffs, man. I told everybody, I said, you can't kill Dallas until it's 0-0 on the clock, man. They always in it, man. Jerry can make it's a joke, but Jerry can make that phone, man. And things just happen for Dallas. Like everything happened perfectly for them to win that game, man. So it's like just a mishap. Dak gotta honestly get down before them, man. When Dak got that first down, Dak looked up and he said, I can get some more yards. And in that situation, if you're going to do a quarterback draw, which should have never been an option from the coordinator in the first place, but if you're going to do it, Dak got to get down right away because all we wanted was a better shot at the end zone, not so far, and fresh downs. That's all we wanted.
Yeah, and I didn't hate it. I didn't hate that draw play because when you look at, some of the things that you were doing, as far as passing wise, if you're going to throw it and not get out of bounds anyway, you're probably going to end up kind of in the same situation. So it's almost like you're going to take these free yards, but the awareness, somebody has to be in the headset too. You just got to always reinforce it. Say, hey, get down at this point in time. Because players do it all the time when they run. They looking up at the screen. They looking up at the clock. They always are aware of that. So you have to reiterate. You have to be on the same page. You have to prepare your team properly to really excel in and do the little things. And it was basically a microcosm of the entire season. Dallas was shooting themselves in the foot the entire fucking game. Every single big play that every single good play that Dallas had to come back for some reason or another because they shot themselves in the foot. And so there was plenty of times like they could have had this game won. They didn't have to get behind like they did. And also, like you said about the play calling, if there's a stat that says run the ball 25 times, you win probably 80% of the time. And
no, it was 100, if I'm not mistaken.
So shit, you win 100% of the times, but
run the ball then.
It's not even that you gotta just run and get it 25 times. You can be creative within the scheme of your offense. But you know what you need to do? Be creative in your pass game. They didn't get creative until it was they were doing the 4-minute drill trying to get extra points on the board. Yeah. If you see run those same concepts, those quick, those route concepts where you're trying to get those quick passes and get some good first downs and stuff. Implement that during the game. Give Dak opportunities where he can send receivers in motion, and the defense has to declare. Let them know, you know what? Okay, now y'all in man. So now, we can see what these concepts are. Don't just go up to the line and say, my man is going to beat your man. And I'm like, Hill, who do I say Dallas wants to be? What team in the NFL they remind me of?
They want to be the Bengals.
And one of my biggest issues with the Bengals to early on and, later on in the Marvin Lewis era and that first year with Zach is you just running your players out there and just saying, hey, I hope my players are better than yours. Go win your route. No, they don't send Tyreek Hill out there and just say, you the fastest motherfucker in the league. Go win the route. They send him on drag concepts. They do everything to get him open. Amari is an amazing route runner. But you know what will make it even harder to guard Amari? Send him in motion and stop him in the slot and make them guard the entire route tree. He can do it. What do they do? Everyone knows that Cooper Kupp and Devontae Adams are getting the ball. They don't just say, here, go out there and run your route. No, we going to put you in every position possible where you can go kick somebody's ass, and we're going to get you the ball. They just not saying, hey, Cooper, go run this route, and we're going to get the ball to you 14 times. They're not doing that. And it pay so this is another thing with the Cowboys wanting to be, I always call the Bengals the great value Cowboys, but the weapons that y'all have should look like what people are saying with the Bengals. The players that to me, like I said it last year, CD and T Higgins, it's almost like, who would you take? Because it's almost like they're the same. They big bodies, they run smooth, and they can go up and get it. Like you look at Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd is like Amari. He can run every route from the slot, whatever the case may be. And Jamar Chase and Gallup, they a dynamic guy, but they can get you that short catch and take it long. And then you got a good running back. And y'all offensive line, it's not the Cowboys offensive line that it used to be, but goddamn, y'all should be beating motherfuckers up in the trenches.
They're not
creative enough.
Because they got Tony Pollard, bro. They could run all of the spread runs. They don't do none of that. All of that spread runs, then that can run also. So it's like, bro, it can be killing with that fake handoff back there, even just for the pass, just to make linebackers take one misstep, bro. With those receivers that you just named.
Cannon, watch this. Here, what did I tell you when y'all was trying to make that comeback? And I was like, yo, What did I say Dak needed to do?
Run the ball. He said they're gonna run. He been telling him to run the ball all game. He said just run the ball, like just run the ball. If you're not gonna do anything, if you're not gonna pass it, just run.
The very next play, what did Dak do?
He ran and scored a damn touchdown.
And you see what I'm saying? Like there's you have to use that threat. You can't. They don't call it a dual threat for nothing. Use that second threat. That's your advantage.
But let's rewind that. What did I say during the season when we was going through our slump after his calf injury? I said if he's not going to run the ball, he's doing us a disservice in our offense. The thing about everything that y'all just said, that's why I lean back and I let y'all say, because everything that y'all said was definitely profound. And on top of that, I let y'all go because y'all that's not y'all team. So y'all, these are objective take. This is not nothing biased or nothing. These are what y'all seeing from y'all perspective. It was a reason why if we rewind. It was a reason why Cowboy fans was hyped that we thought Kellen Moore was going to go to take the Boise job. Yeah, at times, like you said, it was a reason why we wasn't scared that he almost got the Eagles when he interviewed for the Eagles last year. You never heard us like, oh my God, we may lose him. You know, at times, yes, he did look, like the boy genius. At times, he was in his bag. Cannon, you text me that personally a couple times, like, hey, Kellen in his bag. But how often is he in his bag? That's the thing about it. Is he finds some plays, and then next thing you know, he don't run it again. And we was on
plays. It's like Novocaine.
We was on Dallas Duo after the game, on my soapbox, and we just asked the question: what is the scheme? Like, what is the scheme? When you talk about some of these coaches, when you talk about some of these offensive coordinators, you ask them, what is the scheme? What did they hang their hat on? And when you look at Kellen Moore, you can just see it's like, okay, you got a collection of plays, you got a whole play, but what is the scheme? They said in that team, you let this team play soft zone all game. You let this team beat you with a 4-man rush all game, and I'm talking about the entire offensive line. The entire offensive line played trash. I mean, the entire all of them from left to right. So you mean to tell me that they playing 5 yards off, 8 yards off? They no threat for deep passes at all, and they playing with too high, cover 3, cover 4 the entire game. The one time that they blitzed and played man was the slot fade that Amari got. They said, "Oh, we're not doing this again."
Exactly,
because you didn't do anything to get them out their game plan. You didn't run the ball for them to bring the safety up. You didn't throw the ball short to make them come rally, to make them deviate and change their coverage at all. You let them play. You let them. Hey, this is what we practice, fellas. Let's go.
And my thing is, you don't like. I understand we say running the ball. If you're gonna see them and they just rushing for the entire time, once again, like I said, put their players in conflict. Go send your running back right above the center, 3 yards deep, and then run a route right behind the linebacker and make that linebacker decide. You're not doing anything to like put them in any conflict. Like I said, you're just going out here with these route concepts. You're gonna run a hitch here. You're gonna run, a deep dig here or a comeback over here. It's just like it's basic. And this was one of my points right here. What I was gonna say. What tree does Kellen Moore come from?
He's from the Jason Garrett Scott Linehan tree. This is what he knows. This is what we're saying to say. Just insert any playoff loss or any bad loss. Insert what I said here. It's the same exact thing.
Now, what I will say about Kellen Moore, and you probably don't want to hear this here, but it's also what I said about Zach. Kellen Moore is a young offensive coordinator. He don't have it all figured out yet, but I think he got more there than not, and I don't feel like the same thing will happen now. And I see in the comment Jason Garrett 2.0. I'm not buying that.
He modernized Jason Garrett's offense. That's all he did.
But I feel like he's better than Jason Garrett. I feel like he has more concepts.
He can be better, but he's still that's the 2.0 version. You know what I'm saying?
But Jason Garrett never got it done there. So it's like I feel like
either.
But he's still young, is what I'm saying. Like you're looking at 10 years of Jason Garrett and saying that someone who's still very early on in their coaching career as saying that they're Jason Garrett 2.0. I'm just saying that that's not fair. And it's the same thing that I said to you about Zach and coaches needing the same. They not the same amount of time because of course it's a hot seat as soon as you take the job, but they need time to develop as well as players, especially young coaches, man.
But that's what it goes. That's what you brought in McCarthy for. Like you said, is McCarthy's in the room. You got Nussmeier. You got a whole bunch of offensive minds in this room for this offense to not be this bad, to look this bad consistently. Right. Like this is ridiculous.
Because McCarthy's an offensive guy.
Like I say, this is ridiculous. And like I said, I do understand that Kellen is young and he definitely has some time to grow. And he can grow to be one of those guys that we can elevate him to. But like you said, you got other vets in the room. Like you said, sometimes you have to have somebody to lean on. And if they're not helping them out, then what are we really ultimately doing? We can go on to the next game. I gotta take a phone call, fellas. So y'all can go ahead, hold on. The next game was a massacre. Was the Steelers in
the Chiefs? Yeah, we definitely foreseen this. The Chiefs kind of, they've been hitting their stride as of late, and the Steelers, it was. I won't say it was a miracle for them to get there because
it wasn't. It was a miracle. There's things that had to happen for them to get there. It was a miracle.
Yeah. So it's like for me, you had to kind of see this coming. The Steelers defense, the Steelers defense is really the heartbeat of that team, but they don't have the firepower with Ben back there. It wouldn't have been enough, and it was a good ride. They weren't supposed to be there, to be quite honest. Well, as the season went on, we started to realize they weren't supposed to be there. So it is what it is. So we can we don't necessarily got to spend too much time on this one, but what do you think about that game?
But it was. I didn't think it was going to be. I of course I think I picked the Chiefs preseason as my AFC pick to go to the Super Bowl. I honestly think I picked a rematch between the Bucs and the Chiefs, even though I would love to see the Bengals in there now. Sorry, Ro. But I did not think that it would be this bad for the reason that you said that. One, Pittsburgh and that defense, man. And also, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and they have been hitting their stride lately, but they still haven't been the Chiefs. But I think after that game, they're back, the Chiefs, man. Tyreek Hill pretty much, did his thing. Pat Mahomes, Kelsey, the defense. So just hey, watch out. And they play the Bills, right?
Yep, that's gonna be that should be a really good game, that Bills versus Chiefs game. So we'll definitely get to that shortly. And then there was the Monday night game.
Oh yeah, another blowout, man. Yeah, man. Stafford did it. Stafford came out, man. He didn't throw that much, but he didn't have to because, man, Cam Akers in there looking like
that's crazy, bro.
I don't know who's looking like
that's some borderline Adrian Peterson shit right there.
Terrell Suggs is the only person that's tore Achilles and came back in that same season. And
he tore that shit in June, right?
Who Suggs or
I'm talking about Akers.
I think he tore it in June, man, and came back.
It was either June or July, something like that, and it was just like, man.
And that's what he's telling you. Modern medicine, man.
It's elite, ain't it?
Yeah, that's something different. His doctor, the same one who did Joe Burrow knee. So apparently, this motherfucker is a beast. He said, James Andrews, I got something for that ass.
But it's all about how you attack rehab, bro. If you listen to the story they did on Cam Akers, he basically said there were days he was crying in rehab. That means he was pushing himself to the limit. So here's the thing about surgeries. You're 100% structurally sound once they do it. You know what I'm saying? If you had a good surgeon. So once that Achilles was there and attached, now it's all about you have to build the muscle up and back for your leg to now be as strong as your other leg so that you're not gimpy when you're running. If you have one weak leg and one strong leg, you'll be gimping and limping. But the fact that he got back to full strength in that amount of time just shows his determination. It also shows Joe Burrow because it ain't really the doctors, it's the people, man. It's certain people attack these rehabs. We've seen them before. We've seen T.O. come back from a broken ankle in unprecedented time. We've seen Adrian Peterson come back from the ACL and MCL and go for 2,000 yards, I think, off of that. And so, and all of these people we know have heart. And one thing we know about Cam Akers from him, being from where we from, AJ, he was tough down there, man. He was the heart and soul. You feel me? And I feel like that showed and allowed Stafford to just go off that play action last night, man. And he was doing this thing. He looked like the guy that they mortgaged their future for. But like I said multiple times before, I ain't sold until he at least get y'all there, because Goff got y'all there. So if you mortgage the future for a guy who can't get y'all there, to me, you've been had on your deal. So
I mean, he didn't really have to do much. I mean, he had a good game. He had a good game. I mean, hey, call it a great game. But like you said, but it was a great team win. That defense was ferocious, and the running game was playoff running game, as the Rams have shown before. And like you said, but his standard is not getting the playoff win. I get it. This is his first playoff win. Happy for him. Glad you got it. But your goal was never to winning the wild card. Y'all was Super Bowl or bust. Yep. So excuse me that I'm not ready to get his Hall of Fame jacket ready for Hall of Fame. Not you, not just you, but we seen it a couple times in the group. Oh, what y'all gonna say about Stafford? Like you say, and nobody, but they didn't want to talk about Cam Akers, like the way he almost ran 100 yards, and this is that's why I had to look him.
And here's my thing about it. Like, I'm not gonna I actually like I said, I said that the Rams were my Super Bowl pick because of the addition of Matthew Stafford, and I felt that it was going to be able to give them that extra boost that they needed. But this isn't the game that you want to plant your flag on and say, see why they brought Stafford in. This isn't the game. Like I always say about Bengals games, game script allowed them to run the ball. They was up 21-0. Super early. We kept saying, "Oh, this shit is over." Hill kept saying, "Oh, but it's the Cardinals," and then it was over.
Back time.
You know what I'm saying? So
you don't have to expose me.
It set up so they didn't have Matt Stafford didn't have to put the ball in harm's way. You didn't have to rely on Matt Stafford to throw the ball. So this isn't the game where you're gonna say, "Oh, Matt Stafford, yeah, this is why you bring in Matt Stafford." No, this is one of the games that it was like, this is what they did with Jared Goff. They played defense and ran the ball. This wasn't one of the ones where you said, "Okay, show us why you were a number 1 overall pick. Show us that it was Detroit and not you." This wasn't that game. This wasn't that game to plant your flag.
I was confused. I would say you're in a rush to everybody's in a rush to be right. You know what I'm saying? Just give it some time, like you said. Just give it some time. This damn sure not the game to plant your flag. Like, look at Matthew Stafford. He did it again. He did it for you. Like
17, something like that.
Yeah, he threw 17 passes for 200 yards.
I mean, everything their offense was doing was just working. So it was just it was
defense.
Yeah,
it was an easy game. Like I said, I don't know what the Cardinals was doing.
That interception, man. When that interception happened, bro, I just said that's what AJ said. I forgot what he said he was going to do, but he was done there, bro.
Watch something.
Nah, I turned on Madden, boy. I was like, yeah, nah. Kyler doing that, boy. I'm about to play some Madden. This shit is over. The Cardinals are dead.
Since we finished the recap, we got a supporter question, and we still get those.
Yeah, we still got supporter questions if y'all want to send those, man.
Yeah. So we got this is for my guy Nigel. It's been a while. He said, he got a 2 questions. One, what losing team from the playoffs this weekend do you think has the best chance to make a deep playoff run next year?
Cowboys.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I almost said the Eagles, but until I forgot that the Cowboys lost.
Mm-hmm. So for the sake of things, I want to say the Cowboys because it makes the most logical sense. Mm-hmm. Like, how many games y'all won? Y'all won like 13 games, right?
12.
So you won 12 games. And hopefully you start to realize, like your team, like people in charge, the hierarchy, they realize, okay, we need to fix this, we need to fix this, we need to fix this. And that puts you in that place. But just for the sake of argument's sake, what I will say is, I'm trying to think of because a deep run next year, I'm gonna just go ahead and say I think the Raiders are the Patriots, because I think
Patriots.
Because I think, like I said, the Patriots, they've proven it. They've proven that they can get back. So
yeah.
So now I can't answer it now, AJ, because you took both of my options.
Oh, my bad. My bad. All right, so I'll take the Patriots.
I'm obviously when he's a Raiders fan, so obviously when he asked this question, I know he's not asking us to say the Raiders or everything, but I know he's trying to bait us. The obvious question answer was the Cowboys. They're going to regroup and all that. This team we don't know what this team is going to do. This team can go into full-fledged rebuild, and that's the scary part of this loss. This was the most disappointing loss ever in the first round, and this was going to be the most impactful first round loss that we've ever had.
Because with free agents and stuff and people that you may lose, it can be dangerous.
It's the fact that it was the point of bringing them back. If I lost with you, we was probably the most healthiest team in the. If I lost with you, it's no point of bringing you back. I can release a lot of people. Like I said, DeMarcus Lawrence can go, Amari can go, Lyle can go, Tyra can go,
but you'll still have
J-Ron Cross can walk. We can stay have what? We got 21 free agents, bro.
I know, but y'all ain't letting all 21 go. I feel like y'all
Why
gonna let some go. I mean, you could, but that'd be scary. That's scary. Like, come on, you gotta have some people.
They could go on a full-fledged rebuild. The blow up can happen. Like you can blow it up right now.
It can always happen.
So the window that we had that we never had, but everybody wants to claim that we had, is already closed.
Yeah, and I don't think so.
And I appreciate it. I'm just giving you the other side. No, but I'm giving you the other side. You the other side. We have a lot of people that can go. Like you said.
No, I know that, but there's also a lot of other teams. Like our team is in that same position. Like I don't know what my team's gonna look like next year. There's a lot of teams, but one thing I do know, the Cowboys is good at fielding players. So I feel like y'all gonna have talented players in there. And it's all about if the coaching staff can take those leaps and bounds, man. I don't think it's a closed window for y'all. I mean, it could be, like you said, it very well could be. I don't think so. That's a question that time will tell. So we can always revisit this time next year, and see out of the Patriots, the Las Vegas, almost at Oakland, and the Cowboys, of which one of those teams make a deeper run. But did you say why you think Las Vegas will make a run?
I think well, I can't reveal my answer, but I can't reveal my answer now. So once we get to our coaching predictions segment, I can reveal my answer about the Raiders then, because I don't want to give it now because we're still on here. So the second question: did you learn anything new from the teams that won? New is the specific word on this one. I'll go. From the teams that won, I believe the Bengals real live believe that they can do this. Yeah. I think it sounds good. It always sounds good. Everybody says the right thing in football. They get all hyped. But when they went out there and played and they won the way they won, I think they actually can believe that we can really do this. When it goes to the other game, other team, I think the Rams. I think the Rams have realized that this is the moment that we've really been playing for. We ain't been playing for the regular season. It's like an NBA team, like an NBA season. Like, bro, get me in the playoffs and see what we really can do. I think the Rams really turned that switch, that click on, and said, you know what? This is why we assembled this team the way we did. We put all our eggs in one basket. Let's go. Y'all can jump in anytime.
Yeah, so I agree with you with with your first point with the Bengals saying they did believe. From the beginning of the season, I've sent you guys like kind of like the back behind the scenes stuff of like locker room speeches and stuff like that where there was always that internal belief, but going out and beating the Chiefs the way that we did later on in the season was something where it's like, okay, we start to believe that we can play with these teams. But then actually going into the playoffs, and they talk about playoff football, the speed and stuff like that. I think having a tough game really set the tone where it's just like, not only do we believe, we know, and there's always been belief and a change in that culture because ever since Zach Taylor got his guys and cleaned out some of those old hangovers from the Marvin Lewis era, people talk a lot different in the locker room. People talk a lot different in those press conferences, and there's a little bit more of it's not just the coach speak where it's like, oh yeah, we're going to go out here and play hard and we're trying to just win every game. No, it's more of an expectation now, and things have gotten cleaned up. As far as shooting yourself in the foot, you look at like I said, every big play that the Cowboys had, it was a penalty. The Bengals are one of the least penalized teams in the NFL, while also being one of the youngest teams in the NFL. That's something where it's like it's scary. Certain things like when your defense gets a whole bunch of turnovers or you get a lot of big plays and stuff like that. Some of that stuff isn't sustainable, but having discipline is something that's sustainable. And I think that is going to actually be what really gives us a shot in these playoffs, because going on the road now, like when we were at home, we were able to get a lot of penalties and false starts from the Raiders, but being disciplined and going on the road, I think that gives us a chance. It gives us a puncher's chance. And then I'll say the Bills also. The Bills, they were.
That was your fault. Go ahead, get your Bills on. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Dang, man, but no, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like what the Bills learned most and foremost is that they need balance, man. When they have balance, they're a difficult football team to stop. We need the running game to be involved. If they can run like they did this past week, if Josh Allen doesn't have to throw it 50 times, if Josh Allen can also be a part of the run game, they're a very, very tough team. Defensive wise, they've been solid. So they just got to do their thing then. But special teams also, the Bills' special teams kind of weak, man. So they got to step that up. But balance is the key for them. I think that's something that they learn. If they hang their hat on that, they can be very, very tough to stop in the AFC. So that remains to be seen. But go ahead, AJ. What were you going to say about the Bills?
What I was going to say about the Bills is really not just, because they've always had those expectations, but the way that they beat the Patriots shows like, okay, if we are firing and prepared on all cylinders and we take care of the ball, we can really beat anybody and we can be dangerous. And so I think they needed to see that, and they needed to see Josh Allen. I think he needed to see like, hey, I don't have to just make every play. It's okay to slide. It's okay to take off running. It's okay to take a sack. I don't have to throw a backwards pitch to
interception.
someone built like a refrigerator because I'm trying to get every single yard. You know what I'm saying? So I think that gives him an opportunity to say like, yo, if I play mistake free, this team is only like I can take this team to brand new heights.
Facts.
Insert everything I said about the Rams, about the Bills. I think, like I said, the way they beat the Patriots is like they turn on the switch. Like, yeah, it's playoff time. That's what we've been playing for. That's why we here. Y'all say we contenders. Let's show y'all. So let's get into it. Let's get into a divisional round playoff. Just like we did it last week. If it's your team, so I mean you go last. So AJ, you only gonna go last on this one. We got the Titans. Damn, we got the graphic.
I'm pulling it up.
Okay. Whew, thank God. We got the Titans and the Bengals. They started off again, setting the tone for Saturday. And this is the one prediction that I hope I get wrong.
Why they keep putting them back on Saturday though, man?
Because they don't fuck with us, yo.
This is the prediction that I hope that I get wrong. Like I said, I'm rooting for the Bengals. You know who they? Let's get it.
But you going Titans?
I'm definitely going Titans. And I didn't mean to say definitely going Titans like that, but because once again, it sounds harsh. I'm not trying to be harsh, but the reason why, Larry Njoku's out. I don't know the severity of Mike Daniels' injury. He won't play.
Nope.
Tyler Shelvin is a rookie. You know, he's been, rookie. This is his moment. The moment that Larry went out, the Raiders' run game just popped open.
Yeah, definitely.
Josh Jacobs just immediately was looking like he cannot be stopped. That running game cannot be stopped enough. So I'm like, we know for a fact that the Titans want to run the ball, and they're going to run the ball. I don't care if it's with Foreman or with Derrick Henry coming back, and he's coming back fresh. We just talked about modern medicine, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm expecting King Henry to look like King Henry, especially the way that run defense looked once Larry Njoku went out. Other than that, it's a stat, and y'all know I ain't really a stat guy, but Mike Vrabel with 8+ days between games is 8-0.
I mean, some of those stats, like it's like, so I believe in those stats because that's 100% stat. So it's like that stat is real until someone disproves that one. It's the same thing as like why I said, bro, if 25 attempts not disproven, why I would have done that a long time ago until we won the Super Bowl, until someone stopped it. But so I do think the Bengals are gonna stop this Vrabel thing. 8-0 is a hell of a streak. I think the Bengals are gonna do it. For what you said earlier, man, I think they believe in themselves, man. And confidence is one of the most key things in the world, right? Confidence can take a public speaker who says and all the time and make him more legit than an English professor who nails every word and says every phrase correct, but gets up there trembling and shaking. So it's like, I think they're feeling themselves, man. They're clicking on every aspect of offense in the run game, in the short passing game, the intermediate passing game, the deep ball. There's hopefully, like you said, they were stuffing the run. Hopefully they can continue to stuff the run. But I just don't think that Tennessee can stop that offense. So, if it becomes a shootout, I'm going with Joey B, man. He just looks unstoppable. And it's just like, sometimes I don't like when teams, I know they say, Vrabel is 8-0 with the days off, but sometimes I don't like when teams rest, man, because some players get in the zone. And so for the Rams, I feel like that's why they were clicking, because they got to play their playoff game. They were still in full season stride. Yes, Cam Akers was coming off fresh, but he's just one guy who needed to be coming off of rest. You feel me? So Derrick Henry might look good coming back, from his rest, but what is everybody else going to look back? Are they still going to be playing at peak Titans level? That remains to be seen. So I'm going Bengals, which I know you going Bengals too.
Yeah. So sometimes, man, like I try not to be superstitious, but some of the like growing up, I was a baseball player, and baseball players are some of the most superstitious people on the planet, because our game is such a very, they say it's a game of inches in football, but baseball is really, it might even be a game of centimeters.
Yeah.
So, you can do something and you could be doing something right, and then next thing you know, just one little thing changes, one little thing in your routine, and it could change every single thing that you do. And so we talk about how the Bengals hadn't won football, a playoff game in 31 years. And the last playoff game that, from that run after that was, the Bo Jackson game, the Bo Jackson curse, where Bo Jackson had that, career-threatening injury, with his hip. And the team that we had our last playoff victory against was Houston, the Houston Oilers. So to me, you reverse the curse, play the Raiders first, you beat the Raiders.
Yeah.
And now you got the Houston Oilers. So now it's it's just there. And guess, Kansas City and Buffalo, they were in the playoffs that year too. And but all jokes aside, I really do think we have a chance in this game. I think it's going to come down to who gets the pressure most. And I know Larry Ogunjobi's out, but we do get Josh Tupou back, so that's basically 2-1. That's 2-1 techniques that we get back there to really stuff that run.
You're gonna need them.
And Trey Hendrickson just cleared concussion protocol today, so we get Trey Hendrickson back. Sam Hubbard is really good against the run, so sometimes what we might have to do is we might just have to put a whole bunch of size up on that front and really make Ryan Tannehill beat us. And I think on the back end we have enough talent to slow them down if we can stop the run, because I don't have faith in Ryan Tannehill. To me, Ryan Tannehill is one of those, if you get that run game going, then he's going to do some things to you on that play action and stuff. But if you take away that run, it's going to be a long day for them, because I do believe Cheeto, I think he can hang with AJ Brown. And say what you want about Eli Apple. Eli Apple has been playing out of his mind this year.
No, you say what you want about Eli Apple.
No. I'm talking about, because I know when I mentioned that name, motherfuckers like, Eli Apple, are you serious? He's actually been playing really well. If you look at him in that Raiders game, he made some really good plays.
That he did.
He made some really good plays. So I think overall, scoring points is going to be really, really tough. And there's people are going to talk about our offensive line against their defensive front, but nobody's really talking about their offensive line against our defensive front when it comes to the pass too, because they have one of the worst pass rush win rates of an offensive line in the NFL. So we can get to Ryan Tannehill just as much as they do. And Ryan Tannehill, he's the second most sacked quarterback in the NFL, or the third, and he doesn't throw nearly as often as Joe Burrow. So we can definitely get to him. And like I said, I think the main priority is stopping the run, whether it be Foreman or whether it be Derrick Henry. So I'm going to go to Bengals, and I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be, both teams in the 30s, and I think it's going to really come down to whoever has the ball last, and I'm putting that in Joe Burrow's hands, and I'm thinking he's going to make some magic with it.
Let's get it. So the next game is the Green Bay and 49ers. Who you got?
This is a really tough matchup once again, because it's just the way that San Francisco really just has looked. Mm-hmm. And we've all talked about how they're such a scary team coming into the playoffs. But I think just at this point in time, I think Green Bay, they've done a little bit more to actually prepare themselves for postseason football now, where they have a running game as well. You can run out there with AJ Dillon and really beat up on those those defensive players in the trenches. Nobody really wants to tackle him in the cold. So I think it's going to make them be able to stay balanced, and I think they have enough defense to keep San Francisco pretty much at bay. And once again, Jimmy G's going to give you one.
Yeah,
he's gonna give you one, and you can't give Aaron Rodgers an extra possession. So to me, if Jimmy G turns the ball over, I think Green Bay really pulls away with this one. Honestly,
I'm reluctantly going with Green Bay, and the reason why is because I just feel like San Fran's playing with house money. So the pressure is on Rodgers at this point. So we know the controversy he's had this season. You're the bad man. You've haven't gotten it done several times when you were expected to get it done. So it's like, you need to get this done. You need to get this done. You don't need a divisional round exit, being the number one seed. So it's like, I think San Fran goes in there, plays with house money. If this is anything like the 90s, Green Bay and San Fran also used to have some knockout, drag out games. in the 90s too. So it's like, man, this playoff for the NFC is just giving me that nostalgia feeling. I feel like it's going to be another classic game. I hope it's not a blowout. I think the Packers will edge it out, but if it's not, man, look for Hill to be excited for Wednesday, man.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he's 0-3 in the playoffs against the 49ers.
I know, man.
And they actually got a terrible home record now in the playoffs too.
Yeah, so I'm going with the 49ers. The first time they played was 30-28 in the regular season. It was a tough game, went down to it. So it's going to be a tough game again. It's a playoff game, and but the difference is Green Bay would definitely have a way better offensive game plan than what the Cowboys showed up, and then can the 49ers adjust? This is the teacher. This is the teacher. This is the pupil. You know how that go. You know how that go. But is it? Huh?
Is Bosa gonna be playing?
I'm pretty sure that he will play. It was only a concussion. So now Fred Warner is the one.
They wouldn't say concussion during the game, so I thought it was something more than that.
They're gonna add some intrigue and figure out what's up. Yada yada yada. But I mean, I'm not changing I already made my pick, so we can go ahead and go on. I don't know who would next, but we can just go to the Bills and the Chiefs.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I gotta pick the Chiefs because that's my preseason pick. So I like the Bills. I really do. I feel like this is one of the better matchups of the weekend as far as teams being closely matched. It's a 2 and a 3. So that's right there. And man, you got the young unicorn Pat Mahomes, and you got young sporadic Josh Allen, man. You got Stephon Diggs, bro. You got Andy Reid, man. So I think it'll be hopefully another classic playoff game, and Patty Mahomes will edge it out. I'm gonna say, because we said scores too. I'm gonna say 27-24. They win in the last seconds on a field goal from my guy, man, Buckner.
I'm going with we're going with the Bills. The Bills definitely have the better defense. They've had the better defense all year. Yes, teams have played the Chiefs differently and showed the Chiefs another way of how to win games. I understand that. But that's all fine and dandy once you go against somebody that's basically a Spider-Man meme. Like, this is a mirror match. Like you said, they say what you want. Obviously, like I said, we know Patrick Mahomes is the better quarterback, but hey, Josh Allen doing the same thing that he's trying to do. So I'm going with the Bills. It's going to be a high-scoring game, and every time we say that, it's going to be 17-13. But
when that happens, yo.
Yeah, but I'm definitely this one. I'm 31-30 Bills.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely, like, for me, I'm still going to Chiefs, just because I think at this point in time, like I said, like I've mentioned earlier, I think they're playing high, and when it comes to actually the highs and lows, I think Mahomes is a little bit more consistent than Josh Allen. I don't know what Josh Allen I'm gonna get on this weekend. If he's hot, then this is gonna be one hell of a game. But all it takes is one play for him to, panic and beat Josh Allen.
I had enough, AJ. I'm sorry. You've been sneak dissing Josh Allen all episode, bro. Like
all season.
like, bro. At some point, bro, somebody gonna have to stop you. And the Ford's not even check you. Like, bro. Like, bro, Josh Allen in the playoffs. What we've seen from Josh Allen in the playoffs has been a legit elite quarterback. That statement that you just made, which Josh Allen we're going to see. You're going to see the playoff Josh Allen that always show up. Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like,
we'll see playoff P, and then, like I said,
this ain't playoff P. Josh Allen is a legit Josh Allen playoff playoff quarterback.
Okay.
Like
So,
we're not about to sit here and just keep saying that. Oh, which like
okay.
like
All right. So
he's Jekyll and Hyde.
how
Like
about this? Well, I'll take legit playoff Patrick Mahomes over Josh Allen on this weekend.
that's fine. Say that. Like,
Right.
you know,
Boom. There you got it. You got it. Patrick Mahomes. God damn it.
that's fine. So who did you had to cheat? I had to build. All right,
And this is
the
it.
this
This
is
is
the
the
one.
one.
Bucks and the Rams.
You know I'm going Tommy B, man, to go ahead and send Stafford home. Bust. You feel me? Straight up bust. You feel me? You didn't get it done. Divisional playoffs loss.
Mhm.
Golf took them to the Super Bowl. So, didn't even get close, man. So, hey, Tommy B, man, hold me down. That's all I got to say about that one, man.
Go ahead, AJ.
I'm going Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just believe, like you said, that win last week, it was big for them. And we all know, it's hard to force Tom Brady into some mistakes, but I think that defensive front that they have is going to wreak havoc. They can Aaron Donald, they're going to move him all over the line. If we got to see, Tristan Wirfs, they said he's going to come back.
He ain't coming back.
They said he could play.
They
No, he
said.
can't.
So,
Bro, did we see him when he came back?
but that was my point. If he comes back, like, is he even going to be worth bringing back on the field? And then,
ain't in the walking boot.
Yeah, and they're back. I believe
we've seen people in the walking boot at the beginning of the week, and then
when you 320 pounds, that's a little
different about a walking boot, man. It's hard. But we're gonna see though. We're gonna see if he's gonna be out there, man.
Yeah, but I just think getting if they can get pressure with Brady on Brady, that's one of those things where it's gonna give them trouble. And I think,
but what if they get pressure with 4 on Stafford?
And they will.
They'll get pressure. They'll get pressure on.
That's what I'm saying. Who's going to?
I'm getting to my point. I'm getting to my point. I think with the injuries and the people that they've lost on Tampa Bay, I think it's only so much that Tom's going to be able to do. And I know he's one of the best that we've ever seen, but I just think as far as a team, I think that the Rams are going to be able to run the ball. I think the Rams will be able to put up some points. So,
no, they will not.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball, bro.
Like, I think who the hell runs on the Bucks?
I think that they'll be able to run.
And Cam Akers is not like the physical type back, so it's like I don't think he's going to have the game that he had against Arizona.
He won't
on the Bucks, which is why I think that the Rams will struggle in this game.
I think collectively, I think by committee, the Rams will put up about 115 rushing yards this weekend.
All right, but I'm just saying Stafford is still going to have to rely more on his arm.
Oh, no, it's definitely going to be pressure. He ain't throwing 17 passes this week.
Exactly.
He going to throw about 25 to 30 times, but I think I think this game, even still, I think he'll be able to overcome the demons.
All right, we'll see.
I don't think he will. It's like this is a tricky game. Like I really don't know who's going to win because I have arguments for both sides because the offensive line had issues that Tampa Bay has now, and the lack of experience with the other wide receivers. Like you said, Mike Evans is back to looking like Mike Evans, which we known him for. But you about to be going against Jalen Ramsey. Like, so can the others elevate their game and make sure they keep this offense afloat? I don't think they will have an answer for Gronk. That's one thing that I can't hang my hat on. Gronk is here. Gronk will be here. And we know playoff Gronk. We talk about playoffs. You know what I'm saying? He's going to show off. The offensive line for the Rams have been shaky all year in pass protection. I ain't got the stats to back that up, but hey, the games show that. We know Ty Bowles is gonna blitz. Like we know he's gonna blitz. You know what I'm saying? He's from that Yokes tree, Coach Yokes style. So So it's just the fact that this game, and once again, I do not believe that the Rams are going to run. It's just, Tom not going out this early. I'm. That's the logic. Tom, like Cannon, Tom. But this is going to be a close game. This is definitely going to go down to the wire. And if it goes down to the wire, who you gonna ride with?
You know who I'm riding with if it goes down.
Tom or Matt Stafford.
I respect.
So it's going down.
That's it.
Yeah.
Man.
We got one last thing to discuss.
Michelle gonna kill us, man.
Yep. Not even going to deny that. She is. We got some coaching predictions, and we got these for we got them from the fourth man, showed up. We can go we don't have to stay long, but we just go break down. It's eight vacancies technically for head coaches. For the Texans, we selected as a collective Gerard Mayo. We've known that the Texans have been trying to be Patriots South for the longest. And they're gonna finally get their guy, and he's a young guy, but they are a young team on the rebuild still. I just believe that. Well, we just believe that he's going to be that guy. Any other logic behind that one, fellas?
No, pretty much for me. Like I said, they just want to. They want to be the Patriots. Their GM. Chaplain, whoever he was, he wants to, mimic that. So he finally gets his guy. So good luck to them.
Next up, we got the Chicago Bears.
Godspeed, man. Because God lead, boy. I mean, just Godspeed to the brother, because
I mean, you know how that go.
Yeah, I mean, we could do a whole nother show about that.
That in itself. We got the Chicago Bears coming up, and I got Andy from the Brew Party. He said Brian Flores should be the head coach of the Chicago Bears.
Hey, he should be, but I don't. I'm hearing that he might be come to the NFC East, man. Unfortunately,
I don't believe that not one bit.
But I hope he goes to the Bears, because I definitely don't want him in the NFC East. But I got some good sources, man. But if he goes to the Bears, I think Flores has shown us over this past 2 seasons. Down there 2 seasons. Yeah. 3. So I feel like he showed us they were good. They were turning the corner. And that franchise has been terrible the last 10, maybe more years. So I don't know what they expect to happen from firing Flores, but if the Bears do acquire Flores, it'll definitely be a good look. Y'all think he stays with Justin Fields?
Yeah. I think he wouldn't. I don't think he would take that job to move on from Justin Fields.
So, and what they gave up to get Justin Fields, you ride with Justin Fields.
They like whoever they bring in, they're gonna be like, are you good with Justin Fields? They're not moving from him.
That's the first question in the interview. You like Justin Fields? You better say yeah. That's it. That's all you had, AJ, on that one.
Yeah, because to me, like I said, I think he would be a good fit for them, as far as because what he would be able to do with that defense and get that buy-in from that locker room, because that's what he's been able to prove. He can get that buy-in.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a job it's for Doug Peterson. I just believe
this is we definitely
get this job.
But that hey, these are from the fourth. The Raiders, my guy, fourth man, Alex. He had a long list, he had a long list, but we went with Rich Bisciotti out of all. And the funny thing about it is, I think he just deserves this job.
I'm about to be right back.
I think he just deserves this job. He got this team to the playoffs, something that no other coach has done in a while. Yeah. They went down to the wire. I think he just deserves. I think he deserves at least one more year. At least one more year.
You know what? After his long explanation, but when he finally said that, I kind of agreed, man, because I always when an interim coach can come in and do some stuff, bro, I always respect that, and I always feel like, why get rid of them if they never had a fair shake in the first place?
Yeah.
They could have said no to that and just left you high and dry anyway. That's the type of person that you want, a person who will say, that's a person who I want to go to war with, someone who's steps in like that. And I felt like picked up the pieces and did better than what the original staff was doing. So
with two tragedies to deal with.
Two tragedies, bro. So he definitely showed us that that locker room bought in right away with him. So I feel like let's do it. You know, they're walking away from Mike Mayock. Let the head coach, hopefully is Viscotti. How you say that? Hopefully he got input on a GM situation, and they can put together, you know, and go after some guys that fit what they're trying to do. And even though I said Dallas earlier, I do think that, you know, who says it has to be one team that lost that makes a deep. Maybe it's multiple teams that lost this week that make deep runs. So hopefully Las Vegas is one of them.
I think the thing that's lingering over this franchise is the Jim Harbaugh rumors, and it was just a rumor report that
he would accept his job.
Would accept the job if he's offered that, and if that happens, I do like the hire. I'm not going to dislike the hire, but we will discuss that once it actually happens. Like I said, these from the Fours. Shouts out to the Fours. All right, we got the Broncos. I got fourth man Tory. He said Eric Bieniemy, you know, and I laughed when he said it because I know for a fact that Eric Bieniemy not getting a job this cycle. Like, I just,
bro. I shouldn't have to laugh at that, but dang.
That's all I'm laughing at, because like we had to laugh through the pain, you know.
Yeah, facts.
It's because it's laughable at this moment. Like, we have other people that we deal with, like.
If he does, I think it would be the Jaguars, which is the worst job to take.
These are another moment of I want to be wrong. Like, I want to say I really want to say I'm so happy for Eric Bieniemy for getting a job, but I do not believe that he's going to get a job.
Yeah,
he should be the prime candidate for the Broncos. You're weakening your division. You know your division opponent, your division rival. You're coming from a winning program from your division rival. Wouldn't you want that in your franchise? Like, you're killing two birds in one stone. But it's weird. It's very weird. AJ,
he's not getting that job.
Nope.
So look at Brian Callahan, possibly with connections over there, but take Eric Bieniemy off your list.
And they hire on Dan Quinn over there. He got a connection with the GM.
That's what my sources say. Dan Quinn over
there. They ready to, but you ready to, but they like look at that. You ready to go ahead and give Dan Quinn another shot. He's not far removed from what he did in Atlanta, but you would not give Eric Bieniemy a shot at all. And on top of that, they say, you know, he doesn't interview well. Bro, Kellen Moore just interviewed with Denver the other day, yesterday, matter of fact. He didn't dress up at all. Now, I don't know if everybody dressed up for their interviews, but for these interviews, or they always casual, but he didn't dress up at all.
And so, you know how they always say Eric Bieniemy don't call plays and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the first interviews with the Broncos.
That's already been debunked.
Right, but
multiple times.
Okay, but hear me out. But let me hit my point. One of the first interviews with the Broncos was Brian Callahan, because Brian Callahan also got ties over there at the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals offensive coordinator. I've said it many times. Who called the plays in Cincinnati?
Zach Taylor.
Ain't nobody saying, oh, but he don't call plays.
Mm-hmm.
Not once. So why the fuck Eric Bieniemy? Why do they always move the goalposts with him? You want to go ahead and you want to bring in retreads. You want to bring in people who don't call plays. You want to do whatever. He don't interview well. He don't do this. He don't do that. every single cycle. We've been talking about Eric Bieniemy getting the job for how many years?
Since we started the pod.
This is my thing. When have they ever told us why any other person never got the job? When another coach interviews for the job and they don't get it, they don't say he didn't interview well. They just say so-and-so got the job.
They say his time is coming.
So the fix is in. So like you said, it's like I don't know what more to say. Like, bro, they're telling us why he's not getting the job, which means they are, when you come up with excuses why, it's because you already expecting. You know what I mean? So it's like, come on, bro. We didn't even ask, and you telling us why. So
and he played in Colorado and everything. Like, it just makes all the sense in the world. You know, they got a meme floating around with Kellen Moore and him. You know, 0 playoff wins for Kellen Moore. Eric Bieniemy got 6, but next thing you know, Kellen Moore is just a genius. You know, here he goes. He's a genius. But Eric Bieniemy is everything wrong with Eric Bieniemy. They want to bring up he had an incident in college back in the day. They want to re-bring that up to just, you know, dispute him being the head coach. They're doing everything in their power to be his head coach. So that's why.
So how? No. Hold on. Let me just ask you guys this: how the fuck is Kellen Moore such this hot candidate when, you know, for what he's done? When ever since Kellen Moore has been an offensive coordinator, we're always talking about you're not creative enough. Mm-hmm. You don't put your players in the position. We've literally just spent 30 minutes on this podcast talking about how the Cowboys, one of their Achilles heel is they don't do shit on offense to make themselves, you know, to utilize the talent that they have. You coming from you go to Eric Bieniemy, you look at that offense. What do they do? People were talking about, people have figured out the Kansas City Chiefs offense because now they're putting people in a too high shell. Guess what they did? They adjusted. Now Patrick Mahomes, he's not making those mistakes, forcing stuff deep, and he's, you know, beating people underneath. He's utilizing some, you know, bubble screens, and then he's pushing people deep. So now you're telling me you got a guy who you say, he doesn't call plays, he doesn't interview well, he doesn't do this well, but he's been on one of the most prolific offenses and one of the most prolific staffs, one of the most successful teams in the last couple of years. You don't want to give him a shot, but then you want to run around here. You want to give people like Urban Meyer a shot. You want to give people like Brian Callahan a shot. You want to give people like Kellen Moore a shot.
They look the part.
I just don't fucking understand it. And then we want to talk about, you know, when Brian Flores gets fired, is it a black thing, or is it just because, you know, he really wanted, you know, Deshaun Watson and the GM didn't want Deshaun Watson because the GM in Miami is black. But what the fuck you mean? Like, this motherfucker not good either. My whole thing is it's so many white people that can be mediocre. It's a blessing to be a white mediocre man in America. When you black, you have to be great, and you got to be great quick. You don't get no time to work through the kinks. You don't get no time to get all your guys in. You have to come in immediately, and then guess what? When you come in immediately and you start getting results, guess what they're gonna do? He didn't get us to the playoffs. Fucking David Culley. We knew David Culley was set up. We knew the fix was in for David Culley.
Yeah, at the bottom line is,
bro, he took over a team. He took over a team with Deshaun Watson.
Bro, when you look at this picture, bro, that's what they're saying, bro. I get it, bro. But the people that are hiring coaches, bro, that's what they want, bro. That is someone that's going to be in charge of your organization, bro. And that is Eric Bieniemy's fault, bro. It's something that he can't control. It's the way that he looks, bro. And I'm sorry, but the way that Kellen Moore looks is more comfortable to these people that own these clubs, bro.
Ryan got a job.
Bro, I'm not. You're saying F that to me, but bro, that's the reality. Like I always ask you, and you always tell me, bro, he's white, and that's the reality of it, bro. So it's like everything that you said don't matter because, bro, he's gonna get those looks because they prefer a mediocre white person over a legitimate black person any day of the week, bro. And that's just the bottom line.
But the thing is, they love numbers. They love numbers. The numbers are going to be on Kellen Moore's side.
No. You need to be the face, they don't.
When I'm talking about on Kellen Moore's side, I'm saying for two out of the 3 years, he had the number one offense. technically on paper. So they're going to lean on that. They're going to give them oh yeah, your second year, you didn't have that. You didn't have your quarterback. You had 5 different quarterbacks. We'll throw that out the way. But 2 out of your 3 years as the coordinator, you had the number 1 offense. Yeah, we're ready for you. And you're young. That's what they're going to say. You know, they can say it. You can spin it all how you want it, and you know, to make it sound good.
6 playoff wins to 0, man. It's
spin that.
They don't want their coach being black if he doesn't get the job. Period, man. And that's why they come out and say he don't interview well. Because it's like, we looking for white candidates. So of course you don't interview well. Period.
Anything else? Because we gotta go to the next team. All right, we got the Giants. Our guy Tom from Review and Preview. Has been definitely heavy speculation on Brian Daboll and taking the job in New York. And that's why I was like, Cannon, I don't believe that Brian Flores rumor at all is going to New York, because I believe the GM that they're going to get in New York came from Buffalo, coming from Buffalo. You know, they're going to bring their guy. So, and it just makes sense when you look at it from that standpoint. To me, and I told Tom this to him too. I'm not leaving Josh Allen to go coach Daniel Jones, but that would be me. But hey, who
I'm just saying, I got inside track on that one, but you know, we'll see, man. But
we gonna see. But I mean, one thing for sure. I mean, that definitely don't mean nothing.
But whoever takes that job,
they never had a black head coach.
It's Daboll or Flores or whoever end up there, Godspeed, you know, because that's a setup waiting to happen also. So, hey.
So we got the Vikings, Mike Barbecue from Fourth Quarter Coral, 4QQ. He said Byron Leftwich, and he had a long list too. He had a long list of candidates, and this was the one that he stopped on, and this is definitely not going to be the one that they're going to hire. They're definitely not going to hire.
Nice though, if they did though, man. I could see him winning out there, man.
I can see it, man.
I'm not saying that they're going to pick him. I'm just saying if they did, I could see him having success with what they got out there.
They're in a team of they're in the fork in the road as well. Are they going to try to be a contender, or they're going to try to rebuild? And you know, which way are they really going to go? I think this is a prime spot for Doug Peterson if they're trying to win it right now. But if not, if they're going to go on this rebuild thing, Nathaniel Hackett, OC from Green Bay, definitely sounds like a hot name all of a sudden, and also Brian Callahan as well. AJ, you was at the bar, but they was propping Brian Callahan up too, like he was dialing up the plays as well, you know. And it's funny how the media operate, and I'm not mad at him. I mean, he comes from a lineage of coaches, and he paid his due.
You don't gotta call the plays to be integral.
That's bro. Zach Taylor didn't call plays. Like I said, they was picking anybody who had a cup of coffee with Sean McVay.
Yeah,
if you bumped into him, they was gonna get
but as you see, that's not our criteria. We all, you know, well, I speak for myself. I'm all for first time to coaches getting a job if they paid their dues. We went through the criteria. We went through this before, you know. Just pay your dues as an OC or something, or DC or something. Just pay your dues in some way or fashion. And he paid his dues. If he gets the job, I'm all for new coaches. That's all I'm saying. I'm all for new coaches.
Remember when Joe Judge got that job? The motherfuckers was just like, who the fuck is that?
Nah, he didn't pay no dues.
Right. Wasn't he like the wide receiver coach at New England?
And they had the worst wide receiver core.
Motherfuckers don't even like New England wide receivers. And you talking about, we're gonna give him a head coach. Like, we're gonna give him a head coach position. Like, the Giants deserve every little piece of that, because guess what? That was such a dumb, and that's my thing. You're more willing to give somebody a shot that you know, like, hey, in 3 years, I'm gonna probably have to be searching for a coach again. Besides, give somebody who comes from a good, like, an organization and a coach who has been like putting together a very, very consistent product for the last 6 years?
I need my investors and stakeholders comfortable, man.
So with the last team, we didn't have a Dolphins fan, so we went with Doug Peterson because we believe that Doug Peterson is definitely going to get a job in this cycle. So the Dolphins was the only team left, and definitely we went with Doug Peterson. But do I believe that he get the Dolphins job? No. I don't know what the Dolphins are going to do. And I actually don't care what they do because the way they did Flores.
We said somebody's getting a Jaguar job.
Oh, I forgot. I'm glad I skipped over the Jaguar. Jaguar was from my guy, Fourth Man Eric. Fourth Man Eric is in the building. He said Jim Caldwell. And if you listen to Eric in the group, he's been saying he wanted a veteran coach. He wanted somebody with credibility and stability to clean up the mess. Mm-hmm. So he's been consistent with what type of coach that he wants. So, and Jim Caldwell was the name that he landed on. So I do believe, me personally, I believe Byron Leftwich should get the job. In Jacksonville, it makes two.
If he go there too,
it makes way too much sense for me. But I mean, that's not my team. That's his team.
Makes sense. You know it ain't gonna happen in the NFL.
But once we get the graphic, we'll put it up, and everybody can talk about it and dispute what they think. But this is episode 138. I'm Hill. That's Cannon. That's AJ. Y'all know y'all catch us on all major podcast platforms. 3Man Weave. Instagram, Twitter, 3Man Weave. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com.
It's not my fault, Michelle.
We out.